What's up, guys? Nick Rizner here with the Disorderly.com. Wanted to give my sort of take on this Dez Bryant situation. So first of all, I'm a huge Cowboys fan, lifelong Cowboys fan, so that's sort of the perspective I'm coming from. But I'll give my reaction in a second. Let me just recap basically what's happened so far. Now, this is a developing story, so it's 5 o'clock on the East Coast, Friday evening. The details might have changed by the time you're listening to this. I don't know when that's going to be, obviously. But as of now, what we know is that Dez Bryant got released from the Dallas Cowboys. He seems very upset with it. He's gone as far as calling it personal. It seems like he's alluded to the fact that he wants to go to an NFC East team. A lot of people are reporting that he wants to find a way to play against the Cowboys. And he's basically saying, how about twice? Which obviously alludes to the fact that he'd go to a rival. And it's not good. That's the situation. So out of fairness, I'll start with the statement from Jerry Jones. He said, "As an organization, we hold Dez Bryant in the highest regard, and we are grateful for his passion, spirit, and contributions to this team for the past 8 years. He will always be a valued member of our family. Dez and I shared a personal and professional relationship that is very strong, and he is one of just a handful of players with whom I have become that close to over the past 30 years. This is not an easy decision. It was made based upon doing what we believe is in the best interest of the Dallas Cowboys. We arrived at this crossroads collectively with input from several voices within the organization. Ultimately, we determined that it was time to go in a new direction." All right, so that's the full statement. Now, Dez Bryant, I'm sort of reading between the lines here, but Dez Bryant retweeted that and wrote, "Keywords in this statement, several input, something that I already knew." So what that tells me is that based on the kind words from Jerry Jones, and obviously it's kind of a PR, just normal statement, but it seems like his relationship with Dez was, sort of beyond a normal player on the team. He emphasized how hard of a decision it was, and he said that he collectively got input from several different sources or people within the organization. So what that tells me is that people were in Jerry Jones's ear and kind of forced his hand on this one, and Dez sort of co-signed that. Now, granted, it's hearsay. I don't know what's going on. Like Dez is saying that's the case, but who knows? But for me, that raises the question of either players or coaches sort of forced him out. They're the ones that wanted him out, not so much Jerry Jones. So that's sort of the baseline there. Another little interesting development, this one coming from Mike Leslie. You can find him on Twitter at Mike Leslie, WFAA. He said, "Interesting text from the now former teammate of Dez Bryant," so a current Cowboy, who said he was, quote, "a great teammate." And then he said, and this is the text, is a screenshot of it, doesn't say who the teammate is, but it says, "Coaches probably had a problem with him because he would call them out like they do us. That's probably why they let him go." Now, that's, once again, hearsay. It's just a teammate. Becomes a little more legitimate when Dez Bryant retweets that just with a casual ... So Dez Bryant retweeted that information with a ... So it would seem like, from what we know right now, the coaches got in Jerry Jones' ear, said they didn't, for whatever reason, we don't know the reasoning yet, but said that they didn't want Dez Bryant on the team anymore, and they released him. Now, here's where I stand as a fan of the Cowboys. First of all, I don't think he fit into the system. It has nothing to do with his talent level. If anything, I'm not really sold on Dak's ability to, extend the game, to be a vertical threat, to go downfield. He basically, we're spending a lot of money on a guy who's a wide receiver one, who's a deep threat, and it's basically just a waste because we can't use him for his skill set. Dak struggles to get it downfield. There's accuracy issues. I'm not saying he can't improve on that, but there's accuracy issues. He does a lot of checkdowns, a lot of shorter routes. He's basically an extension of the running game, kind of like a college-style offense in a lot of ways. And I feel like Dez Bryant didn't fit that system. So he's due to make a lot of money. He's going to be expensive, and we're not really using him. Now, would I prefer they traded him rather than just clearing cap space? Of course. Of course I would. That's the part that sort of frustrates me. But I do understand him going only because he didn't really fit the system. The difference is I didn't want to see him go like this. He's very upset about this. I don't want to see him go to a rival. It's just a tough break, man. Things don't seem to be great. I fully believe in Dez's talent still, and I feel like when he does go to another team, because he'll definitely go to another team. That's why I'm hoping it's not a rival, but it'll be somebody. When he does go to another team, he's going to punish the Cowboys. Like that much. It's clear to me. He's going to punish the Cowboys, and that's going to hurt. But it's one of those things where I kind of root for him. So this is. I'm split as a fan. If he goes to like the Giants, I don't know. I'm going to be very torn on this, but I kind of hope he does well still. I know it's weird to say, but I've been mad at the Cowboys organization for a couple moves recently. The Tony Romo stuff, I'm a big Tony Romo guy. I know he's a punchline around the league to a lot of people, but I love Tony Romo. And I didn't like the way they sort of sent him off. I feel like everyone's putting their eggs in the Dak Prescott basket, and I'm really not sold on him either. Like, I know he got Rookie of the Year. I actually think it should have gone to Zeke, but whatever. He got Rookie of the Year. He came in, not even supposed to play, led the Cowboys to, 13-3 season. So I get it. I get he deserves the accolades, but I don't think he's the quarterback of the future. I think we'll have him for 10 years, unfortunately. But that's where I stand on it. So I feel like we're investing everything into the Dak stock, and we're losing guys like Romo, and we're losing guys like Dez. And it seems like that stuff is going to sort of cause a rift in the locker room just because of, the teammates coming out supporting Dez, which is nice, but they're supporting Dez and being like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Like, just pissed that the news even happened. So I feel like this is bad in and of itself, because even if this was done as a chemistry issue, they wanted to get Dez out because he was complaining or whatever the motivation for this was, to get Dez out, you might actually cause more turmoil in the locker room. So it could definitely have a negative effect. I don't know, man. I'm upset about this. I'm a big Dez guy. Even when he was sort of, throwing his fits or whatever you want to call it in the earlier years, when he was throwing fits on the sidelines, or even, more recently when he was sort of voicing his concerns with not getting targeted enough or anything like that. It seems like it was always about the team. If the team was winning, he was happy. If the team was losing, he was upset. And I don't dislike that in a player. You know what I mean? Like, I want that. If he's mad because his individual stats are suffering, or he's happy that he had a good game even though the team lost, I don't want that in a player. But I do want what Dez brought to the table, and I guarantee you he's going to have a very good 2018. I just don't know with who yet. And I'm just praying that it's not an NFC East team, but it seems like it might be. It seems like that's where he stands. That's where he wants to go. But we'll keep you posted, I guess, on more developments in this. He's obviously going to be one of the most sought-after free agents this year. And I don't know. Please not the Giants. Please not the Giants.